In the world of diplomacy and international law, few voices ring out with such clarity and controversy as that of Francesca Albanese, lawyer, scholar, advocate for the voiceless, and today, one of the most fearless critics of injustice in the modern Middle East. Francesca Paola Albanese was born on March 30th, 1977, in the quiet town of Ariano Irpino, in southern Italy. From an early age, she was drawn not to comfort or conformity, but to justice. She studied law at the University of Pisa, graduating with honors. Then she continued her journey to London, earning a master's in human rights from London University's School of Oriental and African Studies. Francesca didn't just want to understand the law, she wanted to challenge the world with it. Between 2003 and 2013, she worked with the United Nations, first with the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees, and later with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. She walked the dusty roads of refugee camps. She listened, she documented, and she never looked away. She is married to Massimiliano Calì, a senior World Bank economist, and together they have 2 children. As a mother and wife, Francesca balances the demands of international law with the rhythms of family life, navigating global crises while centered at home. She later joined Georgetown University as an affiliate scholar and served as a senior advisor for a Jordan-based NGO working on migration and forced displacement. She co-founded the Global Network on the Question of Palestine, uniting legal experts, historians, and activists under one mission. In 2020, Francesca co-authored a landmark book, Palestinian Refugees in International Law. It remains one of the most comprehensive legal texts on the subject today. In 2022, her voice became louder than ever. Francesca Albanese was appointed United Nations Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in the Palestinian Territories. She was the first woman ever to hold this role and called the West Bank an open-air prison, describing the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and Gaza as apartheid. In February 2024, the Israeli government declared Albanese persona non grata in Israel and denied her future entry to the country. In response to the reactions, she stated, "I reject all forms of racism, including anti-Semitism. However, labeling these crimes as anti-Semitic obscures the real reason they occurred." She spoke truth to power, and the world took notice. In March 2024, Albanese presented before the 55th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. Her report, Anatomy of a Genocide, a UN report alleging that Israel's actions in Gaza met the legal threshold for genocide. The report shook global diplomacy. Some nations praised her, others called for her removal. In June 2025, she named 48 global corporations accusing them of benefiting from a genocidal economy. Among them were Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet. Then came the backlash. In July 2025, the United States imposed sanctions on Francesca Albanese, accusing her of supporting terrorism and endorsing hostile legal campaigns against Israel and the US. But she refused to back down. She said, "This will not stop my work. My duty is to international law, not to political comfort." Despite the controversy, she's been honored across the globe, from the Stefano Chiarini Prize to being named UN Person of the Year by Pass Blue, a US foundation monitoring UN activities, to receiving the Dries Van Agt Peace Award in 2025. Francesca Albanese is more than a diplomat. She's a woman who traded silence for truth, a scholar who defends the displaced, a dedicated wife and mother of 2, and a voice for millions. In a world that punishes those who speak up, Francesca Albanese chooses to speak louder. This is her story.